Hey, what's happening, guys? Wanted to send you this training on our 7-day system is what we're calling it. And essentially what we're looking at is this is after the sale has been completed. So if you can, pull up in the email that attachment, it should say 7-day system dash Vasa. And essentially what we're looking at is after the personal training sale has taken place, and getting this person scheduled and the follow-up that needs to take place both from a trainer and a head trainer perspective, as well as those that are selling it. Okay, so the reason that we're doing this is right now as a company, we're currently at 60% is all of the people that are sold at the point of sale or sold in training are getting their first session within the 7 days. Guys, now I know that's an unacceptable number, right? So we've got to get that number at least in the 85s, upwards of 90. Really, it needs to be 100%. We need to have it to where every single person that's sold training is trained within the first 7 days. Okay, so what we're looking at, if we're starting at the top of this training, is it's talking about upon the completion of the PT sale, we need to take the following steps to ensure that our new PT clients are starting their training experience on the right foot. Okay, so step number one, this is after we're completing the personal training sale, we're clicking that submit button. They've committed to, let's say, twice a week with us, right? So from here, once you do that, the URL should automatically direct you to the employee scheduler. So once you click that submit button, it should automatically take you to the scheduler. You should already be logged in. If you're not, then you've got your login, which is your club email, and the password is Vasa PT, right? And if you have any issues with it kicking to it, the website's employee.webfdm.com. Okay, so once you do that, now we've got to pitch them the idea of creating a habit and buying essentially a time slot, right? Now we know that time slot might change, right? It might not be the same time slot a month or 2 months from down the road, but we want to get them consistent because that's a big part of this process, right? So gave you an example pitch here of if I'm selling Mrs. Jones, hey, Mrs. Jones, now we need to get you with your trainer. We need to get the time set. So at Vasa Fitness, we believe that your fitness needs to be a habit, right? We want to see you commit to a weekly routine that is consistent week to week. With that said, what are some available days and times that you would feel confident in committing to for the immediate future? After we figure out some times, then we will be able to narrow down a trainer for you, right? So we want to first narrow down days and times, and then from there we'll be able to look at the schedules and be able to see, okay, what trainers are going to be a fit for those days and times, okay? Now from there, if a head trainer is available, or if we have the trainer there and they're available and they're ready to go ahead and have them do this scheduling process, okay? Because that's an important part of this, right? Because we need to be able to bridge the gap between the sale and the first session. So it starts with this process of selecting a time and getting them scheduled. So from there, guys, going to step 3, now we're scheduling the first session. We're taking the times and the days that they gave us, and we're going to schedule the appointment. One of the things, it should default to repeat, meaning that if you schedule Mrs. Jones for 9 o'clock on Monday, then that needs to repeat week to week. If it doesn't click on that repeat button right out of the gate and it doesn't default to that, then click that repeat button and make sure that it repeats week to week, right? From there, an email notification is generated and it's sent out to both the client and the trainer, as well as if we're able to provide the contact information as a courtesy, we want to get them the contact information for the trainer. If we've got business cards for the trainer, that would be ideal. We're giving them their business card. So then that way, if there is a problem, if there is a lapse, then they can go and they can contact their trainer directly. Okay, so that's a big part of the first, so that's all in the sales process, right? Is after we get it done selling them, we're pitching them on that time slot, and then from there, we're getting them scheduled in that first session. Okay, now going into the next phase of this is now we're going to have some follow-up both from the head trainer and the trainer that it's been scheduled with, right? So the first thing is the day after. So let's say Mrs. Jones got sold on Monday and she's got a session on Thursday, okay? Well, what we're going to do is that head trainer is calling on Tuesday. The following day, they're going to call and they're going to confirm the appointment, right? And if they haven't been set up, they're going to set the appointment, okay? So the head trainer is pulling up all the people that got sold the previous day, and then from there, we're going and we're starting this follow-up process, right? If we have to leave a message, we leave a voicemail, right? If we leave the voicemail, we're stating who we are, we're stating what we're calling about, and we're leaving our contact information and making sure that the person got scheduled, right? If we're setting the appointment, then we need to go back and repeat the process of pitching the time slot and then getting them scheduled as a head trainer. Ideally, guys, 99% of these people need to be scheduled right then and there at the point of sale, right? So the head trainer should not be calling the next day and setting the appointment. Now, I understand people are going to fall through the cracks, and we're going to have that, but that needs to be not the rule. That needs to be the extenuating circumstance, right? From there, now that head trainer has followed up, right? That head trainer now needs to put in their schedule 24 hours. So once again, Mrs. Jones was sold on Monday. The head trainer's calling on Tuesday, right? Once they make that call and confirm that appointment, they need to then put in their personal schedule that day. They can put it as an all-day appointment, right? That they need to follow up on Friday, the day after the first session, to follow up on how that first session went, okay? So now we're going into step number 5, which is 24 hours before the first session. The trainer needs to follow up by calling and confirming that appointment. If you leave a voicemail, once again, state who you are, what you're calling about, give your contact information in that voicemail. But we need to make a phone call, not a text message, right? You don't want your very first contact with your new client to be a text, right? You want them to hear your voice. You want them to feel your energy through that phone call, right? So you're calling them the day before, you're leaving them a voicemail. Okay, that's as a trainer. From there, guys, now we're going into, they go do their first session on that Thursday, okay, or whatever day it's scheduled for. Now, 24 hours after that session, now we're on Friday, okay, now the head trainer is now following up, okay? They're calling, and if they need to leave a voicemail, they leave a voicemail, and we're basically asking about the overall experience. We're asking about the training experience, make sure it was a good fit, right? We're asking when their next session is scheduled. Even though you might be able to see, you also want to find out when their next session is scheduled. Make sure that they are on that recurring and they are coming back, right? And then from there, let them know that you're going to be sending them a 1-question survey in an email. Guys, this survey, from there, no matter if you get a hold of them or you leave a voicemail, you're sending them the email with a 1-question survey. And all the survey says is how likely, after your first session with Vasa Fitness, how likely are you to recommend us to your friends and family on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being highly likely, 0 being you're not likely at all, right? That's it. That's the only question on there. And then if they want to leave a comment, they can leave a comment. And that's it. Guys, from here, okay, if they do not show up for that session, there needs to be follow-up from both the head trainer and the trainer to get them back in, right? We've got to have that follow-up to get them into the training, okay? Guys, I hope you guys feel the importance of this, right? We're only at 60% of the people that are sold are training within the first 7 days. Totally unacceptable, right? We need to get that number well into the 80s, for sure into the 90s, right? The goal right now is 85%. That's what we're looking at, right? We want to try and get 48-hour rule, right? We're trying to get them within that first 48 hours, but we're giving you the leeway of 7 days. Okay, I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video. Let me know if you have any questions. Hope you have a great day. Go team. Woo!